Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Stephen Tobias in the podcast. Tobias, the podcast studio.
S. Hard Z.
Also starting a podcast, and he's got a couple episodes out. It's called Relax-cipes.
We borrowed the last part from my last name. Yeah. yeah. It's super fun. Check it out.
It is super fun. It's your family's recipes being read as a meditation.
As somewhat guided meditation. So it's, I found like an old cookbook. Parents moved.
Now, is this your Polish side that the cookbook's from?
It's a mix. So mom is mainly Hungarian and like weirdly Irish. So I don't know what the fuck happened there. Somebody invaded a country, back in the day. And dad is super Polish, like super Polish. Like it was butter, salt, and we ate it.
And what generation is your dad?
In America? Third, maybe?
Okay.
Maybe.
He's still holding out hard, huh?
Him and my uncle. My uncle's the one that had all the recipes. And he's like, oh, yeah, you got to look at this book. And it's like some of it. The worst thing is it doesn't tell you how many servings you get, right? So I made this. I made this old mushroom soup recipe. It's fantastic. But like my wife and I made it. We had 8 portions and we're like 2 little people. And we had it as like an appetizer, accoutrement, if you will. And we must have froze that, and it lasted the entire... I mean, the pandemic's still going, but we still have some in our freezer.
What a gift you gave yourself.
Yeah.
What a gift that was sent through that recipe book by not telling you.
Yeah, it just large portions. Large, buttery portion. Like every... I had Mike Glazer. You know Mike Glazer?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah. He did like the first recording first episode.
Butter cookies?
No, that was Nicole Thurman. His episode hasn't come out yet. He was the first guest I had. Excuse me. Yeah. And in the recipe, I made him say, I like rewrite him, right? But I made him say butter like 10 times. And he goes, you should just do an episode like a supercut where it's just everyone saying butter. From all the guests. And I was like, oh yeah, there's probably not that much butter. I've recorded probably 10 of these and every recipe is like 2 sticks of butter. And it's like, I should make a supercut. Just the butter episode.
There's some people who fucking love butter. My husband's one of them. His mom's one of them. Big butter people? Big butter people.
Where is your husband from originally?
South side of Chicago.
Ooh,
Irish Catholic.
Butter culture.
Big time butter
I don't know if anybody's said that about people from the South Side. Big butter people.
You guys are butter people, aren't you?
You're made of a butter. Like how much is a lot of butter?
It's like, I don't know. If it has the mischief of like, I'm going to pour a little more vodka in my drink. Whoops. Naughty me, but it's butter.
Right.
So I can't say, it's just like, ooh, how about a little bit more?
Right. Ooh, I'm watching my favorite show. There's a commercial. Ooh, my drink's low. I might throw in 2 sticks of butter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't this popcorn need some more butter?
Right.
It's definitely a thing. I know him and his mom like have also just like taken bites off the stick before.
No.
Yeah.
No. Come on.
No, I'm not going to come on.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
definitely his mom's done
out
that.
Of the fridge cold or room temp?
I don't know the details. I think this is their childhood.
Can we call them and see if they've eaten deep fried butter? You can get that at the Wisconsin State Fair, I think.
Oh my God.
Or it's like a little butter ball and they bread it and they deep fried. I've seen it. I don't know what state fair it's at, but it's definitely a thing.
I bet you that's good.
I mean, how could it not be? I mean,
Right?
It just melts, right? You bite into it and it just...
It's probably nearly what a Fazoli's breadstick is already.
What is Fazoli's? I know.
Okay.
It's happening.
It's the most like low quality pizza place you can imagine.
But they have like the best breadsticks.
No, not even that. They just keep giving you free breadsticks that are just like doused in butter. Doused. And like you're like it's one of those like sick things where like you're sitting there and like everyone you can just see every fat fucking there with you and you're just everyone just wants them to come around with the breadstick basket again. They're like, I'll have 4.
Like I need
we'll
the
give you
fix,
2,
man. Yeah. That's weird. Is it a sit-down place?
It's a sit-down place.
By choice?
Yeah, I guess so. I think they have drive-through too.
Sure.
It's a real low class. Fazoli's.
I saw a TikTok. There's that ZS again. Tobias. I saw a TikTok of somebody working in the kitchen at Olive Garden, which is like a bit redundant in itself. And they made the breadsticks. They literally take them out of a bag, put them on a tray, throw them in an oven for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Nothing bakes in 2 minutes. They're reheating.
Okay.
And then they have like a paintbrush, like you're staining a deck in the 50s, right? Like this thing's huge and just dousing in butter.
That's why they're good.
And I know. Part of me for like the first, TikToks are what, 20 seconds, 10 seconds? The first half of that, the first 5 seconds, I was like, I just had this look on my face like, oh no. What am I doing? And then like I've eaten 10 gallons of these. And then the last half, when they get the butter out, I'm like, oh, okay. I would never ending eat those. I would do that with a weird bowl of lettuce. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's bag lettuce for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like you're eating at a weird aunt's house because the bowl's got that weird pattern in it where it's like a little bit groovy.
I fucking love Olive Garden soup salad and breadstick. Like,
oh yeah,
disproportionately so to the quality of what you're getting. To tell myself a little bit, my friend Jess Mitlow and I were in New York, and like it was like one of our, I don't know, we were there for a while, but it was one of our first days there, and we had all the options of the food in the world, and we decided to go to an Olive Garden in Times Square.
No.
We had a blast.
No.
It was exactly what we wanted.
Did you get drunk?
No, I don't think so. We went and saw Rocky the Musical, which is boxing Rocky.
I didn't know that was...
Dude.
Was it good?
Not technically. Not technically good, but so entertaining.
No stage direction. But otherwise, very good.
So I want to talk to you about your podcast a little bit more.
Yeah, sorry.
No. I this morning, so I've just started I wanted to meditate my entire life.
Oh, same.
And I'm like, it's literally like 10 years buildup for me trying it. And like, that was 2 years ago, and I tried it, and I was like, I did it like 3 times. I was like, this is awesome.
Right. This
is great. This could be life-changing. Then like took 2 or 3 years off.
Sure.
And then just started again.
Great.
And I'm on the Sam Harris's Waking Up app.
Not familiar.
I recommend it. I recommend it a lot. Like almost a month in now on using his app every day. And there's a theoretical portion of it and then a practice portion of it. Cool. So he combines the two. And so I've been doing that every morning. And I was like, this morning I'm going to follow that up.
Did
with
you?
A recipe.
Did you try it?
I sure did.
Which one?
I did the butter cookies.
Oh, with Nicole. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I mean, they're all good, but yeah. She got into it, man. She's great. The weirdest...
I listened to both, but I actually functionally tried to meditate with the butter cookies. I wouldn't say I meditated, but I definitely enjoyed...
It's weirdly relaxing, isn't it?
Absolutely that.
That happened on accident. I literally was like, I love cooking. I love food. I meditate, or I try to. Just through the past year, I actually got into it, where it was kind of like a same thing, where it was for 5 years, I was like, I should really do this to help with anxiety and depression and whatnot. And I would do it and I'd feel better and it would clear my mind. And then I stopped doing it. And then the past year, I picked it up and I was like, oh, I love food. Boy, wouldn't it be fun to some type of combo? And then I came across that book and then I wrote the first one, I emailed her, and I was like, hey, I think you'd be fun for this. You got a great voice. She does animation.
Yeah. And she does have a great voice.
Yes. I sent it to her, and I was like, and I think I wrote a confusing email. I was like, we'll record together over Zoom. At this point, I recorded 2 other episodes.
Okay.
And I was like, we'll record over Zoom, or you can record on your own. It doesn't matter. Here's kind of how it works. Take your time, pace it out, and just kind of be yourself. But if if more of your personality goes into it, that's great. Nothing for 3 weeks. I didn't hear from her. And I was kind of like, is this like a, because I sent the script and I was like, she probably thinks this is stupid now. Like it's, there's this weird, embrace the slight smell of gas when the oven, and I'm like, oh God. She sends back an audio file like midday, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And it's the best thing in the world. She's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
I was actually like thinking, I was like, man, I really do hope someone like tries to meditate and like do the cooking process at the same time too.
Well, that might be dangerous.
It could be. Yeah. You'd be in a bit of a rush. You'd have to pause it at times.
Yeah, because they're like short episodes. They're pretty short.
Yeah.
We skippity-doo-dah through those. Yeah. But yeah, I wanted it to just be like a goofy, weird thing because that's kind of my style, if you will. And they turned out, when you put like weirdly calming music with it, it's weirdly kind of relaxing. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad you listened to it though.
Yeah, I did. And I was like, I'm gonna try this right after my meditation. I'm like, now, like, I wake up in the morning and I'm kind of pumped to like, I do my meditation in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of pumped about it.
Is it, how many minutes is your morning one? Is it like a time thing? Or
it's about 10 minutes of theory and then about 10 minutes of guided practice.
Okay.
And boys, am I all over the board with like feeling like I walked away and actually meditated.
Oh, sure.
You know what
I
mean?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I just thought about things the whole time.
That can happen, yeah.
But I'm like, I feel like I've opened a door in my brain.
It feels like that when you find a meditation that is... at least in my experience, there are meditations where it's like, okay, count to 5 using your fingers. And now you're and I'm like, I can't do that. I don't want to be physically trying to focus on something else.
Yeah.
But it's not taking my mind off it. I just want to do like breathing exercise meditations with like random positive reinforcements or stuff like that. Those I find tend to work better.
Do you use a specific...
This sounds so douchey. I use the Peloton app.
And it's built into the Peloton app.
Peloton is not just a bike. We're sponsored by Peloton, by the way. Please buy a bike and ride away. No.
I did a Peloton audition in German.
For what?
This spring. I don't know what it was. It was for Peloton.
In German?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you read some of the copy?
Oh God, I would have to look. I'd have to find it. Probably not allowed to do that too.
Yeah, that's fair. But we are sponsored by
Peloton.
By Peloton.
I was like, do I make that part German? Peloton.
Nope, that's not German.
Oh, there's a little French there.
Yeah, well, we went French. I got butter on the mind. Peloton has, apart from the bike, which my wife and I bought during the pandemic out of a panic buy.
Awesome. How much did it cost?
No comment.
Okay.
No,
it's an investment in yourself.
It is an investment. It's a good way of putting money you don't own.
Okay.
It is.
It's a gym membership you're still paying for.
Correct. It's initially upfront expensive for the bike, but you can pay it off over 2 years without interest in low installment monthly payments.
This isn't advertising for Peloton.
It's not an ad. It's not an ad, but...
It is an ad.
No, but if you throw that on with the initial member fee, it's still cheaper than most gym memberships. I think it's under $60 a month for both of us. Or each of us. So you get a nice gym membership. That's $40, right? 45, 50, depending upon where you go.
Yeah, at least.
But ours has a rotating screen. There's meditation. Ooh. There's.
Do you meditate on the bike?
No. So I rotate the screen and I do it on a yoga mat.
Okay.
And then I have a soft lamp in the corner that I'll leave on occasionally. But they have guided meditations. They have sleep meditation. The sleep ones actually really help.
You just pull the bike into your bedroom?
Yeah. I tuck it in. I kick my wife out for the night. My 2 cats are very confused. Don't say anything.
The bike's talking to me.
All right, Peloton, let's climb. That's what they say in all the bike ads. It's so dumb. But yeah, they have weightlifting classes, stretching, yoga. They have a lot more than just the bike. So if you get it with the rotating screen, it actually works. So you can do this stuff off that, or you can do it on your phone. I find myself doing like a 10-minute patience meditation, like almost daily, and then a sleep one when my like anxiety's terrible at night, and I'll just like have running thoughts and I'm in bed and it's like, oh God. And then you share a bed with your husband. It's like, well, you don't want to keep them up. What am I going to watch Stranger Things for the 10th time? Like, what am I doing? So it's like the sleep meditations are pretty good. At least they work for me. I can speak to that. Yeah, exactly. You would never think Peloton.
You're getting,
You would go, well, they're not really trained with that. It's not the same people that do the other exercises.
It's also, when you pay for something, you have to use it. You're like, there's a meditation app on here.
Right.
I better fucking use it. Does it have the oh God, what is it? Not Strava. Do you guys are you able to race other people from all over the world?
Yeah.
Like in like little like geographical, like accurate maps?
I don't know if you do it geographically. I haven't tried that yet. But what you do is this sounds so dumb. You can make a friend group or join one via a hashtag. Oh my God! This is the most
keep going.
LA conversation.
I like biking, so I'm not a stationary bike person.
Right.
But
it's like saying Guitar Hero's playing guitar. It's not.
Well, it's just
you want to go somewhere.
I want to like see some. Yeah, but the whole like map thing. I think that might be a whole different. It might be like Strava or something that does that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Where it's like you like literally do like the Tour de France, and it's like the actual map, and they like.
That's.
I mean, it's not it's CGI or whatever they use.
Right. Are they gonna update it for that person that tripped and knocked out like 40 people?
Yeah, which they arrested her, right?
They did, but until they did, we have a good buddy of mine. Is in France at Cannes because he got like a screenwriting thing in there. Yeah, cool. Like the fellowship or whatever. Very cool. But he got there like 2 days before that happened. And so my buddy texted me and sent me that article. And he's like, he's got to come home. He's going to get in trouble. So we were laughing because we were like, oh, he would fucking do that. But,
no, it was a woman who did it, though.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. To clarify, it was a woman. Yeah. Not my friend. Unfortunately.
Just to be sure.
Just to be sure. My friend Dan is doing well. Yeah, but they have, so you make a hashtag of whatever you want, like your group. Everybody in your group, I'm in one with some Chicago friends and a couple of LA friends. And like someone will be like, oh, you want to do a ride together? And then you could do classes together where you can see where you three are and you can compete against each other, which is a good motivator.
Yeah, that is.
Or you can do like strength classes or whatever, any of the classes together. Or if somebody else is working out, you can join their class. One time we did what one of the people called Kanye's Sunday service, but for Peloton. And he did a 2-hour, he built it out in like, what's it called? Excel, sent everybody the links to the classes. We all added them in a row, and then we all did the same classes for 2 hours.
Oh, it was live with Kanye?
No. Kanye had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
It was just Kanye's Sunday service. It happened to be a Sunday. But yeah, so we did like, you start with a meditation, then a stretch, and then we're going to do light weights, and then we're going to do core, and now we're on the bike for an hour and a half. And it was like, it's fucking nuts. I never worked out before last year.
Never?
I mean, I'll lift something, sure, if I have to move it, but like, no, I didn't run. I did sports as a kid, but not well. So that was a big shift.
Are you hooked?
It's pretty addicting. I have a Peloton shirt, but I got it for free.
Do you have a non-stationary bike?
No, I'm not good on a non-stationary bike.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
My dad did not learn how to ride a bike. He still doesn't know. He still doesn't know, so he didn't teach me.
Okay.
My stepmother is a stepmother, and then my mom worked like 2 jobs, so like she didn't have time. So I didn't learn until I was like a sophomore in high school.
And you're just not comfortable on a bike?
I have a weird dangly, I'm very marionette-esque on a bike, where it's like the legs will be going, but the hands are up here.
You forget to leave them on the handlebars. You start floating.
And I'm over here, and then I'm like, oh, look at that bird. I get very...
Oh, yes.
My attention span's not good for a bike.
Here's the thing. Just don't go where there's traffic. Just go on a trail. Then you can be a marionette.
Sure, but
you just fall into the grass or...
But the idea of doing that for fun is what gives me that's big anxiety right there. We rode when we were in Arizona. My wife and I rode with these. They seemed too big. The bikes we were on, they clearly weren't, but they seemed too big. And we just
rode or mountain bike or
they were probably mountain bikes, maybe or road bikes. I couldn't tell you. They were big. They were big bikes. And we just rode it in this like neighborhood that her parents have that house in. And it was like, I thought I was going to die like 10 times. I don't do the turns enough. So I take them real wide, just a real wide, like I'm avoiding a dog in a crosswalk or something. It's bad.
See, to me, when you're like...
And I wore a helmet. Oh, just a small helmet.
Well, that's good.
Well, sure. Yeah. You should wear a helmet if you're riding a bike.
You certainly should.
My wife's just a fucking wild card, though. She's like, let's fucking go. And she takes off, and I'm like,
No helmet?
Yeah.
Oh,
she's crazy.
We bike to, even get around the city. Like
your husband bikes, too.
We both bike.
Yeah.
And, like, he's a little bit like, doo-doo-doo, and having fun and, like, sees the bird and... Makes me a little nervous. I'm probably going to end up being the one who gets in an awful crash someday. But it's like scary. It's scary biking in Chicago.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But when you get on a trail or whatever, like I feel like if you like Peloton, let me say this too.
I don't know. What I like about Peloton is I'm in my apartment and I can look over and see my cat.
You can get a basket for your cat.
I should get a Peloton basket for my cat. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
I tried to get a picture of my cat sitting on the seat looking at the screen so I could tweet at Peloton because I'm always trying to get free stuff from brands. It's just fun.
Hey, wait, hold on. Let's bookmark that because I want to come back to what you've gotten so far.
Oh, a lot of stuff.
Okay, cool.
A lot of stuff. Mainly through Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah, I won several contests last December. Like $4,500 worth of stuff.
What?
Yeah. We can get into that. It's a lot of fun. You tag like one person and you just like throw up the whatever hands this is emoji and you're like, yeah, this shirt looks awesome. I can't wait. And then 2 days later, they're like, congrats to our winner, Stephen Tobias. You won 10. I won a like big old box of meat from like this butcher. I think we still have some steaks, but it was like New York strip steaks, like,
oh my God.
Yeah, like Wagyu beef. And no, it was like $400 alone.
Wow.
Yeah. A bunch of free clothes.
Fun to win meats.
I like a box of meat to show up at the door. They're just fun. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. Ristoli's. That's the place. Huh. Shout out Ristoli. I just ate half this microphone.
My buddy bought me a couple years ago for my birthday a Tomahawk Steak.
Oh, I have always wanted to try and make one.
I was like, what a cool gift. Like it was like did he walk in carrying it by
the bone?
Yeah, he did. Just fucking over his shoulder.
Yeah, he's like, howdy.
Here's your birthday
I'm
present.
Paul Bunyan. How are you?
I have like a little like what is it? Hibachi kind of grill, like a small grill.
Oh, sure.
Is that what they call those? It's just a small grill.
Yeah, Japanese type of grill, maybe hibachi.
It's just a small grill. Maybe it's not hibachi. Okay. But it's like we had to like hang it off of that grill
because it's so big.
And like try to like scooch it around.
A little steak scooch. Yeah,
me and my friend both ate it and like gorged ourselves and like still had like.
Oh yeah. Did
steak.
Like a 32 ounce?
I don't know.
I got a
didn't
burp
weigh that
coming.
Sucker. Get it out.
There it was. It tasted good.
It tastes like Trader Joe's sparkling cranberry clementine water.
Oh, I haven't been to a Trader Joe's in over a year.
Dude.
The lines in LA for Trader Joe's. Also, just Trader Joe's are in the worst parking lots, always.
Oh, are they?
At least out there.
Okay.
It is so hard to park. And, everybody drives out there.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't bike there. So I haven't been there in a while, but I miss some of their stuff. They got good random like knick-knack snacks, if you will.
We've gone from like, oh, isn't Trader Joe's fun, to like very loyal because it's the closest place for us.
How far is there. You can walk?
Just over on Lincoln, and it's like takes us 5 minutes to walk there.
Is that right?
Yeah. And so as soon as that happens, that becomes like your go-to store of like,
if you can walk,
you just want to pull that. You can pull that all the way. Yeah, eat that microphone.
There it is. Is this? Welcome to Tasty Time. Yeah. Any grocery store you can walk to. It
wins by default, doesn't it?
Yeah, because the winter's the fucking worst for groceries.
I live by the Whole Foods and like did not make Whole Foods sort of money, but I shopped there.
Expensive
because I was like, I'm not going to walk somewhere further.
Sure.
Most of the year.
No.
It's nice to be by Trader Joe's now because it's like a pretty solid grocery store.
Are you guys meat eaters?
We are both now. He wasn't when we first started dating.
Oh, you converted.
He converted himself, I'd say.
But sure.
But yeah, it was like a slow like trickle into like, oh, I'll eat like some fish to like.
Oh, he didn't even eat fish.
Not much, maybe a little.
What diet was he, or what?
Just mostly vegetarian.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Fish is good. Fish is good.
Fish is great. Now we do salmon once a week.
Salmon's good. You do fish tacos? You do a tilapia, a little cod?
I don't make them. Do you? Do you do fish tacos?
We love fish tacos.
Food.
Let's talk it.
You love fucking cooking.
I love cooking. 2 in the morning, I'll make a skillet cookie. I'll do it. That's not true. I did that one time. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and I had a bag of chocolate chips. And
just in a cast iron?
Yeah. I was like, I'm just going to throw this together and see what happens. I was pretty drunk. It turned out okay.
The way I make food when I'm high, like too high, is so fucking stupid.
How?
It'll be like it's usually something like this. There's a tortilla usually involved.
I feel
probably
like
peanut butter on it.
No.
Yeah, then I'm like grab some syrup and like syrup on it. And I'm like,
this is just a sugar burrito. Is what you're making.
Yeah,
syrup.
It's why I can't. That's why I can't get like super high because I just lose my mind. I lose my mind with food, and it's like.
You ever go grocery shopping high?
Oh,
it's the worst.
It's the worst. Yeah.
You end up going, oh, Scandinavian swimmers. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get. That's what Trader Joe's calls Swedish.
Oh right. That's right.
So you're like, oh, I'm just gonna. I guess I need 3 bags of these.
Yeah, it's not a great idea.
And they put all those delicious chocolate bars and covered chocolates and random popcorns by the register. And then you're like, well, I haven't had Toblerone in like 10 years. I'm just going to 25% cacao. I don't even know what that means. Great.
I got fucking destroyed this weekend. I like
drunk or too high?
Way too high.
Yeah.
I was accidental high. Like I don't like being too drunk. I don't like being too drunk, and I don't like being too high.
Sure. Yeah.
Really
you get in the head.
Like it.
Yeah.
Just medium.
Sure. Yeah.
Like a lot of people when they drink, I feel like they're like trying to get somewhere, and I'm like,
sure.
I'm trying to not be dizzy.
Right. I just want to.
I drink a lot, but I just don't want to be like dizzy or sick.
Yeah. I want to have a fun little light.
Never thrown up from drinking. Never thrown up from drinking.
No.
I hate throwing up, and I'll always avoid it if I can.
Let's unpack that. When was the last time you threw up?
When was the last time I threw up?
This is fascinating. Never from drinking.
Never from.
Where'd you go to college? Did you go to college?
I went to college. I did 2 years at a community college in Grand Rapids, and then did Grand Valley.
Oh, in Detroit.
No, West Michigan area.
Oh, Grand sure. Excuse me. Yeah.
And like studied abroad in Germany, drank a bunch in Germany. Never
from heavy German beers.
Yeah.
They don't water down their beer like we do.
No, and they give
the Heineken over there is strong.
Is it?
Yeah, it's stronger than the
higher
US.
Gravity?
Yeah. Huh. Gravity.
It's a higher percent alcohol.
Oh, yeah. I've not heard that term. Higher gravity. Huh. Is that what Defying Gravity is about? Good song. That's just, I don't know why.
Never puked.
Never puked.
But anyways, I was going to say, I got,
that's wild.
So my friend left and she's like, hey.
Yeah.
Can you come over, grab our groceries? Like, you can have everything in our fridge. I don't want to go to waste. She's moving to New York.
Oh, okay.
And
I was gonna say, Jesus, what's going on there?
I know, right? It's also a very weird thing to grab like everything out of someone's fridge and like these are the foods like they eat. Like she shops at Trader Joe's and it's almost everything is something I wouldn't buy.
Like what? Give me an example. You open the fridge door, the light comes on, lights up. What's in like the fridge?
Like frozen Italian dishes and like frozen soups.
No,
she has two kids. There's like popsicles.
Just buy like canned soup, frozen.
Well, it's just weird because like you buy like you probably have what like 50 things you buy on repeat every week.
Sure.
And then you get into someone else's 50 things and you're like, this is a completely different 50 things. Almost none of them overlap except for like the basics.
Right. Yeah, that is interesting. I don't think I've looked in enough friends' fridges.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. And then what's nice about it is you discover like, oh, why don't we ever get this thing?
Right. Oh, a soft brie with like cranberries.
Yeah, why don't I treat myself to that sometime? What am I doing?
$5.
Yeah. Anyway, she gave me like a little like frozen thing of like random weed candies, and I'm like,
okay. 5 milligram, 10 milligram.
That's the thing. I was like, what are these? And she's like, oh, like I was like, are these like in that range? And she's like, no, they're probably like 15 or more.
Or more?
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
So, but then I had a couple things shaped a certain way and then a couple nights, and I was like, this isn't that much.
Right.
And then I take this like little tiny piece of chocolate that didn't look like the other ones. Steven, I was like,
oh no, you died.
I almost had a psychotic break.
How so?
I was like, oh my God, we were watching, so we're rewatching Breaking Bad.
No,
I'm rewatching
can't watch that high.
Yeah.
You can't.
And
it's too heavy.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it right now.
The show's like 20 years old.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't need that spoiler alert. I take it back. I'm going to edit it out.
No. Don't edit any of it. We're not editing? We're not editing.
But like it was the episode where Walt and Hank confront each other that they both know, and they're sizing each other up in the garage.
No. And that's like, such an intense moment.
So intense. And like the acting is so powerful, and they both like know who like the other person is, but there's still a charade.
Right.
And like
there's a dance.
And I've been like meditating for 25 days in a row, and like there's so much discussion about like the false self. And I was like, I'm going to have a psychotic break right now.
You're going to die.
Like, I was like, my brain is going to break.
Did you think you were in that tense of a situation as well?
Oh, God. It was probably more tense for me than it was for them.
Who were you with?
I feel like I always like I'm on Walt's side. I know I shouldn't be.
It's hard not to be. And it's the same way with like Dexter. From Dexter, right? He kills people, but he's killing bad people
about it.
And he's so
I didn't finish that show, but like I mean, Walt, they really take you on a ride, right?
He is. At first, you're like, well, "Fuck, this guy's got terrible cancer. His wife hates him. His kid has cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy.
Yeah,
and like the guy he used to work with. He's fucking loaded out of his mind and very successful. Right. And it's just like, you're like, oh man, come on.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So I almost had a psychotic break. And then I was like, I have to distract myself. So I went into the bedroom and I was like, I just sat and watched almost the whole season of I Think You Should Leave.
Oh, great.
The second one.
Oh, it's
Have you seen the second one?
Not all of it. Not all of it. I've seen the first maybe 2 or 3 episodes.
I don't want to get carried away, but I will say I will get carried away. It's my favorite sketch comedy show of all times.
Yes.
It is for me.
Yeah.
Like
I think I'm a Kids in the Hall guy.
Okay.
But that's right up. This is right up there.
It's like
so burpy.
Get it out.
I'll get a good one out. Into the mic for us.
Please. There's I would say like, so I grew up kind of liking Tim and Eric, you know?
Oh, sure.
But Tim and Eric is like, you got to like sift through like 5 episodes to get one that's, you know.
It's very specific taste. It's a very niche type of comedy.
It's just like, it's like that absurd, but it's all grounded more in a world where the characters believe it through and through.
Right.
And
to them, it's reality.
So good.
Yeah, I think I saw a tweet that said the casting director for I Think You Should Leave deserves an Emmy. And I've never agreed with the tweet more.
Yeah.
Because every side character, every person Tim interacts with, even the ones he's not in, fucking fantastic. Or even Sam Richardson's not in. Everyone else is perfect. Like the boss he calls up on stage just played that so well for such an awkward, who's going to judge these buff boys? Just so good. And then the haunted house sketch or the ghost tour. Yeah. That was one of my favorites so far. I'm very early on, but yeah.
You can say whatever you want. And he's just admitting,
he's just like flat out crying. Yeah. He's like, do they ever come through the walls? Which is a big old horse cock? It makes no sense.
I just feel like you set the rules out and it's just like so sincere. Did you see the one where he's in the outfit? He's in like the outfit doing pranks at the mall.
Oh yes.
And then he's like,
he has like a mental breakdown.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, he's like, there's too much on me. And he's just, and it looked real, like they actually shot that like a prank.
Yeah.
Because the people watching in the little food court are just like, there's too much on me.
It's so good.
It's so, oh my God, he's a nut and I love it.
You're a writer.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Most days. Yeah.
Is that would that be your main gig? Because you also produce, right?
I produce and write, yeah. Those are I've probably, since I moved to, it's probably been 50-50. I've been very fortunate to have some writing gigs, and then the way it works is like you're on a show for like a month to like 4 months. And then it's like it goes into production. And unless they're shooting your episode, if you get a written by episode, you're not really needed on set. So you kind of just go on to the next thing. It's usually like 13-week contract type deal.
Gotcha.
Thing. Yeah. So it varies. So anyway, so you could have like a really fun, great job and meet some of the best people for like a few months. And then you could have nothing for a year. So it's very unstable. So in that like downtime, I have found and been lucky to have like producing work, which has been great.
Interesting.
Yeah. I find that fun too.
So producing is always so abstract in my mind. Like
there's so many different types of producers: line producers, executive producers, just a regular producer, supervising producer, associate producer, a producer to the producer. That one, last one I made. But the best way I can put it is like one of my friends is an AP, an associate producer at Kimmel. And his job is to like scour the internet for fun news clips that they can use in segments or in desk pieces or in the monologue where they like cut to a video of like, oh, did you see this today? And it's like used as like a setup or something, or it quite literally will be its own standalone like joke. So I've done stuff like that, not for late night, but for other shows. So I've done an AP stuff like that. And then like overall producing stuff, you kind of handle everything. So like,
so it can be like a catch-all sort of like we need you to do.
Yeah, you're kind of like the fail-safe is a good way of thinking about it. It's like, okay, I'm going to hire the casting director and be in on auditions, and we're going to hire these people, and this is the rate they get. And then I'm going to talk to wardrobe. Oh, who's our wardrobe person? I need to hire that person, and this is the rate they get. So on smaller stuff, your producer will manage the budget and everything and all that. Line producers usually help with budget, but if you don't have the money for a line producer, you're not doing that. So there's a lot of smaller shows being shot all the time in LA, a lot of non-union, if you will. And like, it's a good gig. You meet good people, but like, sometimes it's a clusterfuck. Sometimes they're like, we got $600 and his uncle owns the network, so we have to shoot eight episodes. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
For like $600? That's what's my rate?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be interesting. I find it fascinating. It's the ones I've done have been more like creative producing, so you can kind of give more input into like styles and choices.
Okay.
Which can be fun, as more opposed to like budget stuff. Like I can do a budget, sure, but it's not as fun.
Creative.
Yeah. I like that creative aspect. I don't want to step on somebody's script or something, but if I can help, if we, it's the same way as improv. If you're heightening it the right way, and you find that together, that's a good creative producer, I'd say.
If you like push came to shove,
do
you like those writing jobs more, producing, or you like doing the variety?
I love writing. Yeah. I love storytelling like that. I think where I'm at now is I love to produce late night TV. I've never done that. I think that would be so cool. My buddy who's the AP, I email him like once a month and I'm like, let me know if you're leaving your job. I will do that in a second. Because that's how I got into comedy, was watching my dad had Carson reruns on VHS. And I had no idea who Johnny Carson was. And he would put it in and you'd have like the weirdest fucking dumbest shit happening. Very goofy too, mind you. And I was like, oh, you can be goofy and somewhat serious and get paid to do this? That's great. How do I do that? I still don't know. But that's like kind of how I got into that. So like the idea of like ending up in that would be cool. So if anybody listening has connections, I'm on LinkedIn. But yeah, I think producing a late night TV in some aspect would be very cool.
Huh. Would you want to write for
late night variety? Yeah. I don't think I can. I've done so many packets over the years, and it's not a knock on myself. I just don't think I think I would get too burnt out. Yeah. 'Cause it's so much each day, I gotta believe. I've talked to some friends that write for late night. It just seems like a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And a lot of the same, which is okay. I don't think I'm that good at it. I don't write good monologue jokes. I can write a sketch. I can come up with the concept of a joke for a monologue, but monologue just ain't my thing.
I like literally just started going out and doing stand-up.
Oh, how's that going?
Super fun.
Yeah.
Which is exciting because I tried it like once and was like, this sucks. Took a decade break.
Yeah.
Did improv and sketch comedy. Yeah. And then maybe did a couple times more and it was still like, it sucks. Just right before the pandemic, I did it like once. I was like,
good time to start. Good time to start.
Yeah. And then I've gone out maybe like 3 or 4 times in the last couple weeks.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh, this is the first time I've gone out and I've had fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can rework stuff.
Right.
It feels like as an improviser, it feels so naughty.
Right.
So naughty.
What do you mean I can write stuff down and change it at home and then go back and say it again?
Yeah, and act like I'm saying it for the first time.
Right. And even if I get to the point where I'm big and famous, I can still say the same things.
And also people are okay with that. Yeah. People are like, let's rewatch that.
Yeah, I want to rewatch the joke I've heard that I like hearing.
It's also very interesting to me too, because it's so funny how like isolated I think I felt from stand-up, but like going and like watching stand-up and being like, you know what? Like the styles are so different. Mm-hmm. And like, I was like, I don't almost ever like the style that's like, just like one-liners and like,
sure. Yeah.
God, like, and I was like, also,
you don't like Mitch Hedberg?
No.
No, what? I love Mitch Hedberg.
I just like almost like anything.
I mean, it's obnoxious.
Just set up and pay off like jokes. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, you know what? I don't like that almost at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you would hate monologues on late night?
Would hate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting to like know like, oh, cool. So I'm not gonna force myself to do that because I don't even like watching those.
Sure. Yeah, I can watch a monologue. I know it's a weakness. I can't do it. I've tried. I've submitted so many packets for late, and I don't mean that as a brag. Like anyone who's written in LA has submitted a packet for a late night show. And I don't mean written. I mean, it's like anyone who wants to be a writer or is trying to be is submitted, because there's just so many submissions usually. And it's just like, you ever look back at some of the jokes you put in there and you're like, you felt really confident at the time, and like whoever you were dating or married to looked it over and they were like, oh yeah, that's really funny. And they weren't just being nice. And then you look at it again and you're like, what?
It's especially if it's a joke, right? It's got to be objectively like, it wasn't said funny.
Right.
It stood alone and was funny on paper.
Right. It needs to be funny on paper and then funny in the voice of the show you're submitting for. So it's got to work twice. And most jokes work one way, which is why there's always so many notes on like scripts or even in edits. It's like you'll cut like maybe one of the best jokes because it just doesn't work timing wise for the next thing. And it's like, oh, I can't fall in love with a joke. I just need to write a good story and maybe hope that it's funny as well. Yeah. I mean, obviously put jokes in there and whatnot, but it's interesting.
Have you dabbled with stand-up or?
No. My God, no.
It's also just what a trip to just like. There's like no venue that I've ever like been at where it's like. People can be so squeamish and the audience can be so nervous.
They like, just seem...
You cut it with it's such a weird social experiment of like, even like a couple times going up there myself and like sometimes feeling comfortable and sometimes not. It's like, there is so much going on here psychologically.
The air's thick. It's just like you...
Did a bunch of people just bomb and then there's like somebody... Yeah. I'm just dipping my toes in it. I'm like, this is a fun world.
It's almost like you watch like I've been to a couple open mics supporting friends, and the best way I can describe the crowd there is the crowd has always at an open mic just seen a proposal bomb.
Yeah.
And they're like giggling to their friends about something else because that reminded them of something, and then they just want like their food. And then you're like, you have to go up and talk to those people afterward. It's like confronting the family of the kid that just proposed and I said no. Yes. And it's like, no, it's going to be okay. You ever take deep woods off into a boat and like, no, I don't even know where I was going with that, but you know what? And this is why I don't do stand-up, but you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There's just a weird energy. It's weird.
It's weird. I've also realized real quick that I'm like, I can't sit in the middle of the room. I'm everybody's eye contact person.
Oh no.
I think I've been that my whole life.
And they just...
If there's like a lecture or something, like everyone looks at me.
Why? Why do you think it is?
I think I give good eye contact.
You do?
And I think I'm supportive. And I'm an auditory learner.
Okay.
So if someone's speaking to me, I'm really processing it.
Sure.
And I'm watching them. And I just think that like, a lot of people are just okay being like, and it's like, you're like, I need a lifeline if you're up there. And people are like, this guy's looking at me. Especially if you're in a situation where there's not a lot of people looking, where there's people being a little like, oh, this is going great. And then you're like up there for one person at the next who's like wearing their fear on their shoulder and like sleeve. And like, they're just like desperately trying to connect with you. And you're like, I can't sit center of the room anymore. They'll find me.
They'll find you regardless. You're lucky you're not like in religion, like you're a priest or anything, because everyone would be glued to you. I mean, think about how good of a sermon you could give.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a religious person, but like think about like all tension would be on you. I mean, that'd be exhausting.
Listen, if I wanted to be, I could be an amazing pastor.
Go on.
I actually grew up in a very religious.
Oh, really?
Very, very religious household where everybody's like pastors.
Denomination? What denomination?
So evangelical.
Okay, so
no. It's
a coverall.
It's a cover. It's just like kind of modern. It's like Protestant. Not Catholic.
Great. I know what that means.
Like the people who voted Trump in and go to mega churches. Those people.
I have not been to one of those. Did you not vote for him a second time? You can leave that in. Leave that in. No, I did not. No.
Vote for him, please, people. He's got to come back.
He's coming back in August, according to a pillow salesman.
I was like, I grew up in that world, and I was like, oh boy, I could do really well at this.
Did you go to private school?
No, public school.
Private.
But I private.
We had uniforms.
Catholic?
No, white Southern Baptist.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say white supremacist.
White supremacist.
I don't know why. There's something about how you held out the white.
Yeah, no, I held that. We're going to hold on.
I got
white.
nervous. I clenched my buttocks.
Are you kidding? Do I cross you as a... I hope I don't.
Your parents can raise you one way and you can change.
Half my parents live in Marco Island, Florida, which I am going to next week, and that is like so racist.
Marco Island. It's also just... Place it for me.
I'm doing directions in my head.
Wait, okay, Gulf side or
west Gulf side? They are literally on the Gulf of Mexico. Their lanai looks out to it, which is a Hawaiian word for patio. It's stupid.
Florida's wild.
Florida is wild. Good turnpikes there.
We oh my god! So we my husband and I did a 3.5 month tour in the van this winter.
Oh right, yeah, I remember that.
And we accidentally got stuck in parts of Florida longer than we anticipated.
What parts?
Jacksonville.
The worst.
Blows. Jacksonville is awful.
A lot of hillbillies.
Jacksonville's, and even the city itself is too big and sprawled out.
Right.
And it kind of doesn't get the best weather during the coldest parts of the year.
Correct.
We kind of got trapped there. We got there too early, and then we were waiting for his mom to and his aunt and uncle were there, and it ended up being 3 or 4 weeks, and we just every time we're Jacksonville's the worst. But Florida's such a weird.
Weird.
It's just so different from area to area.
Yes.
Palm Beach. I felt people wanted to spit on me. I was I shouldn't be here.
Right.
Too much money. You were saying earlier when we were chatting, we're money makes. I'm uncomfortable with lots of money. I'm so uncomfortable with lots of money.
That is Marco Island where I'm going. Ugh. It is they all have fuck you money there. My dad was oh yeah, some people here already got the vaccine. This was last October or November,
what?
Right before it was supposed to be major released. Yeah. He's you come here and you realize you're not rich. There's a guy that bought a $20 million home and knocked it down and built a $40 million home. And in my head, I'm how do you have $60 million you can just throw? I mean, good for them, but also
but really good for them?
I don't know. Really? Do you need that much money?
No.
That seems too much.
No.
I don't think I could spend $40 million. I could spend $40 million in my lifetime, but I don't know why I would need to.
Yeah.
It's not a need. I don't need $40 million to keep myself alive or my wife.
I always think the way rich people talk about things cracks me up.
Oh yeah.
I had cousins growing up who just they had quite a bit more money than we did.
Sure.
They weren't filthy rich, but had money.
Yeah.
And there's just so much conversation that's I don't know about the shirt. I think I'm gonna. I don't know. Maybe get a couple more of these shirts.
It's $45 a sleeve. I'm gonna.
It's just the particulars of everything is they can just mull over it so much.
We I don't have a good example. My wife's parents are very rich, and it was a lot the first time.
It's such a different world, isn't it?
Well, and so I just helped them with an estate sale, which is what do you mean? We call these garage sales. What's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
And she was selling a bunch of towels and bathroom stuff. And some guy goes, "Oh, do you work for a towel company or something? You have a lot of sets." And she was "No, we have 5 bathrooms." And I was "I'm sorry, what?" Now, granted, there were 3 kids and 2 adults, so sure.
We got a bathroom.
Right, but the first time I went to her house, I was "What do you mean your basement's finished? What is that?" Fully carpeted. There's TV down there too? That's cool. We kept the computer tucked away in the corner because that's the only place we got internet. It's weird.
Yeah.
Money is a weird thing.
Money's a very weird thing.
Yeah. Especially in Florida, man.
We did so. this is another fun way to experience Florida is we had a Planet Fitness membership. We do have a Planet Fitness membership still.
I thought you started one in Florida. And
we started one in Austin because we don't have a shower in our vehicle.
Oh, sure. And
so
I've seen
bare
that.
minimum, you gotta shower somewhere, but also then we'll work out too.
Yeah.
But the microcosm of you just don't know where you're gonna get at a Planet Fitness, then we went into a Planet Fitness in Jacksonville, and there was a guy just tweaking, he's like, they're all over me, man, they're all over me
inside.
Yeah, and one of the attendants or gym associates was there with him, and the cops end up coming, and then 7 cops, he's shirtless and and he's outside the gym, and the cops all draw their guns. Steven, everybody in that gym went, oh, and did that that runny prance thing over to the window, and they're like, yeah!
No. Why? Because they were so excited the guy's getting arrested?
Because the cops drew the guns.
No.
They were everyone ran to the window cheering.
They were ready to see some shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I fucking hate Florida. See you in 2 weeks. Or actually a week. Good God. They ran over.
They ran over there. Yeah.
Did the soundtrack change in the gym?
That would have been great.
Was the associate...
It went straight into Ghetto Superstar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Someone gonna do another.
That's in there, right? That's in there. That's part of the song. It's part of the song. We're going to sip.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Stephen Tobias. Dude, thank you so much for doing this.
This is fun.
What a treat.
Yeah. What a tasty treat.
We'll put the deets in there for your pod. Anything else we can check out? Visit your local library.
Check
it out.
Go check out a book. Support libraries. No, honestly, no. I tweet dumb things. If you're into that, it's on Twitter. But no, I do. I'm pretty low radar. I don't like posting about stuff. I think it's weird.
Fair
Apart from my podcast, which I'll post about after this.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening.